story I'm going to tell you now shows you the power of Birchas Hamazon. Every mitzvah channels blessing to the world. But listen to this. A man was having financial trouble. He lost his job. He was unemployed. His wife couldn't work. He had bills. And before you knew it, the bank was going to foreclose his house, and he wouldn't be able to get a mortgage for a new one because his credit was getting ruined, and his life was really, really crumbling. He decided to go to the Gadol Adar, Maran Hagayin Reblazer Shach, Rosh Hashiva of Panavish in Israel. And he says, Rebbe, please help me from my terrible predicament. And the Rav says, I have a segula. Listen to this. He says, say Birchas Hamazon out loud with simcha, with joy. Not easy to serve Hashem with joy. You know, sometimes we have concerns, worries. We're not always in the mood to be happy. But Reb Shach told him, say Birchas Hamazon happy, and Hashem will take care of your problems. And the man was wondering, I thought Reb Shach was going to tell me to fast, or maybe go to the mikvah, or maybe learn 6 pages of Gemara every week. And Reb Shach told him, I have a solution for you. Say Birchas Hamazon. The man was so impressed. He tried it. He tried to muster up the joy and happiness that's required by every mitzvah, especially Birchas Hamazon. And he started saying it slowly and loudly and clearly. And he saw that a lot of his problems were not problems anymore. Friends pitched in, and before you knew it, life was a beautiful garden again. Rabbi Isai, there's no segula as easy and wonderful like Birchas Hamazon. People today, they want segulas. Hashem gave us one. Say Birchas Hamazon, and I will take care of you. Interestingly, Reb Shach accepted on himself on Yom Kippur that I'm going to be this year extra careful with Birchas Hamazon to look inside a siddur. Now, you might think, Reb Shach, he's 100 years old, he knows the whole Torah, he was the greatest Talmid Chacham of the generation. But yet, Reb Shach said, I'm going to demand from myself to look inside. Not like some people, they'll say Birchas Hamazon, but their eyes are wandering and they're looking around, or maybe they're making motions to people. No, he looked inside. And he said that that is a tremendous segula. And I want to leave you with this message. The Stipler Gaon, who had Ruach HaKodesh, who was one of the greatest Gedolei Yisrael of our time, said, somebody who says Birchas Hamazon well, it's a segula that he won't get sick, he won't need doctors, he won't be in an accident, and he'll be spared from lots of problems. Rabbi Isai, let's remember the words of the Stipler. His wife, or daughter, I believe, daughter-in-law, made a magnet, and it's hanging up on many people's refrigerators. It says that the Stipler said, if you're careful with Birchas Hamazon, you'll be safe, you won't be in an accident, and you won't be in trouble, and you won't be sick. And I want to tell you something. I was in a few accidents, and I don't know what zechus it was that Hashem saved me. I thank Hashem every day by modim. I remember one time I was driving the car. It was late at night after a chasana, and I really didn't eat at the chasana, so I was feeling kind of weak and hungry, 1 o'clock in the morning driving. And the next thing I knew it, I fell asleep, and I smashed into one of the signs on the highway. Baruch Hashem, my car was smashed up, and it costed $1,000 to fix the window in the front. But Baruch Hashem, thank God, a miracle. Who knows if it wasn't Birchas Hamazon? Another time I was driving my car right after I finished the Torah show, and it was a fast day. And I had just finished 2 shows on Tainus Esther. And I was driving home with my Jeep. I was going about 60 miles per hour, and all of a sudden, the roof of my Jeep opened up. I couldn't see out the front window. 60 miles per hour, all I see is a big red metal thing in my face. I'm like, whoa. I look to my right, there's a truck. And on the left, there's a truck. And I'm thinking to myself, whoa, what if this street starts turning? So I just looked at them and I'm honking, help! And all of a sudden, I said to myself, if I'm 1 foot away from him and 1 foot away from him, I should be good. It was one of the scariest moments of my life. And Baruch Hashem, these trucks stopped the traffic. They honked, and when these big trucks stopped, I had an escort to get off the road, and I was sitting there shaking. My knees were shaking. I was like, calm down. My knees were like shaking back and forth. But then I realized Hashem made a miracle. Hashem always makes miracles for us. Most of the time, we don't even know it's a miracle. But who knows? If it wasn't that I try to be careful in Birchas Hamazon. So Rabbi said, remember this. No one wants to be in the hospital. No one has to have treatments for diseases and illnesses. Rahmanu Litzlan. The list of chaylim in the shul is quite long. Say Birchas Hamazon well. It's a segula, you won't be in an accident. It's a segula, you shouldn't get sick. Segula, you shouldn't have trouble. Don't drop, don't lose, don't miss out this gold mine that Hashem gave us.